How you doing? 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 This is Main Blast, and this is World War Prime. Check it out, man. World War Prime. Shit's crazy. Shit's out hand and shit like that. Homeland Security got a preacher out there losing his freaking mind talking about black people are lazy. Okay? I'm sorry you can't see on the board, but I'll give you a chance to see the picture of the person accused of this. Homeland Security head, lazy blacks turn city to slums. Now, black people don't turn cities to slums. Black people tend to live in a nice environment until the cities start cutting off freaking goddamn funding to their cities. And then they become a slum. Okay? And as simple as that. An appointment official in the Department of Homeland Security came under fire Thursday after revelations about his racist remarks about blacks on the conservative radio. The man came under fire. Why is it they use that word, come under fire? They come under fire. Are they at wartime? Every time a racial comment happens, the term come under fire always reveals itself. For some reason or the other. Rev. James Johnson, James Johnson, the department head of faith-based neighborhood partnerships, made a derogatory comment in 2008 that recently surfaced in a CNN report. He said African Americans were to blame for having turned cities into slums. Okay. You're the one that have to the government is the one that has to finance the sanitation in the slums. The government is the one that has to finance the buses in the slums because they got contracts, they got to go in there, so it's sanitation as well. Okay? The street sweepers have to clean up. Okay? And as simple as that in the neighborhood. Okay? You also find those people. Okay? What happens when the finances get cut off? That's right, it becomes a fucking slum. And black people have no use but to live in that slum because you made it into a slum because you didn't keep it up. Abandoned buildings all over the freaking place that you abandoned. Sometimes you still have it, but you still abandon and let it get run down. You don't put nobody in there, you don't fix it up and shit like that, and it's your property. And you blaming black people? That don't even make no sense. This is where the banks comes in. These are the banks' houses. They don't pay no mind to these houses at all. Okay? They don't develop them, they don't build them up, and they don't fucking sell them or they don't rent them out. And they just lay there for to be a target because nobody comes in and out. And if nobody comes in and out, then my friend is a target. Head of faith-based neighborhood partners made derogatory comments in 2008 that recently resurfaced in the CNN report. He said African Americans were to blame for having turned cities into slums in the radio interview on the Right Balance, an Essence radio network. It is an indictment of America's black community that has turned America's major cities into slums because of the laziness, drug use, and the sexual promiscuity. First of all, the laziness comes from you giving us Section 8, giving women Section 8 and welfare. The laziness also comes from you because there's no freaking jobs out there worth fucking getting up every day to go to. And there's no 4K1, there's no retirement plan and stuff like that. Very freaking depressing if you ask me. Okay, what else he says? Sexual promiscuity. You put have sex all over the internet. Most of these girls are black. Okay, you got black websites, sexual internets. You got sexuality all over the place. You sexualizing your own woman. Have the black woman emulate her. Okay, and it's as simple as that. Okay. An indictment of American black community that has turned American major cities into slums because the laziness, drug use, and the promiscuity. John said during during that 2008 discussion. Now I'm going to show you the picture of Mr. John. I'm going to host neighbor John. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying. Hold on. That's the good old Reverend. Could be your neighborhood preacher. Giving you a sermon somewhere. Getting you close to God. Okay, that's about it. Yeah, okay. Alright, check this out, man. I'm going to read this tweet from Homeland Security head of faith-based and neighborhood partnership, the Reverend James Johnson, will resign over past comments on black community and Islam. Now check this out, man. It is simple. This is a reverend, okay? This is a reverend in Homeland Security talking crap. In my opinion, the reason why he resigned is because he wants some fucking sympathy from white people in these lower levels on the trailer park. Okay, he wants to be a Dylan Roof without the gun. Okay, I'm going down for the cause, baby. Alright, they're just flashing on the TV and stuff like that while he moved to a new fucking position. You know, this is just some kind of race baiting, and that's what it is. And he trying to be a soldier of race baiting. Johnson also made a incendiary comment as recently as 2016, but his 2008 interview is most damaging and filled with racist, as well as statements that promote xenophobia, whatever the hell that is. Okay? The Now Acts official said black people are anti-Semitic. Anti-freaking Semitic. First of all, you can't be anti-Semitic because the creator, the creator of the Hebrews was not named Sem. His name was Shem. Okay, it's not S-E-M, it's S-H-E-M. And it's simple as that. They kill me with that shit. Anti-Semitic. There is no person named Sem. Okay, there's Shem. I guess they did that on purpose because they don't want everybody to backtrack to the real person to find out Sem might be Shem, who might be black. Okay? And I'm going to continue doing this right now, alright? I think one of the reasons why is because the Jewish people from their coming to America in the Great Wave in the early parts of the 1800s immediately rolled up their sleeves and began to work so hard and apply themselves to education and other means of improvement and other means of climbing the, I hate this phrase, but the social ladder, if you will. Johnson said in 2008, and they have done exceptionally well for themselves, only representing about 1.4% of America's population. They made up 12% of America's millionaires. Why? Because they work. Well, like my other story, they worked. Yes, they did. They really freaking did. They really worked their ass off to get where they want. You gotta give them that. But the problem with this fact is that when black people want to work and when black people want to do something with their life, they're cast down every time they get a chance. Okay? They're cast down without cause because of skin color or their personality traits or their hair color or their hair style. Okay? A hairstyle gets you kicked out of your job at a Banana Republic. Okay? And as simple as that. I mean, these Jews might be Jews, but they are also white. Okay? Johnson later agreed to another guest on the Ascend Radio show who said to set up Jewish Americans and remove the argument of victimization from black community. According to CNN, he also explains that the left is America's rebuked black Republican because Diversity is simple a cloak to hide a far-left Marxist global ideology that seems to undercut and undermine every principle on which this nation was built. Okay, that's close to what I was talking about. Analogy was later issued by Johnson in the CNN report. I have and will continue to work with leaders and members of all faiths as we jointly look to strengthen our safety and security as an interfaith community, Johnson said on a statement to CNN. After you degraded a whole nation talking about they lazy and shit like that, can you explain to me why the church give a damn what this man says? He quit his freaking job and he got in trouble for it. Why is these other faiths listening to what this man has to say? Roll that up for a little bit and think about that. Having witnessed leaders from the entire faith spectrum work to empower their communities, I know and now see things much differently. I regret the manner in which those thoughts were expressed in the past, but can say unequivocally that they do not represent my views personally or professionally. They don't represent your views because it's in public. Every person have a private and everybody has a public face. Okay, and it's as simple as that. Alright, especially in this crazy ass fucking world. Alright, Johnson was appointed in April by former Secretary of Homeland Security John Kelly, who also recently was condemned for racial charges statements about the Civil War. You see? Told you to get a new job. Probably a better paying job, actually. The Center of Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnership was formed in 2006 after Hurricane Katrina to engage a broader cross-section of faith and community-based organizations in all stages of disasters and sequence provides resources for faith and community leaders to help them prepare for emergency situations, according to his website. And center is also plays a role in the Department of Fight Against Human Trafficking. Well, this idiot, okay? Alright, this man who was a pastor seemed to have his whole world turned on his shoulders for telling some shit like that, and then he lost his job. Probably got some sympathy too. And like I freaking told you, he got sympathy. Now he works at where? Homeland Security. That's right, Homeland Security. I'm sure it pays better than the preacher. You know, as simple as that. Working with Homeland Security. So, this is a lesson to you black folk out there. When white people get fired from a job for racial epithets, they usually get rehired somewhere else for probably more pay. Okay? The guy who probably said that, or the guy who says racial epithet at any given time, say of the police department and so forth, is probably on the move anyway. Just want to stir up some trouble and some racial tensions to get the news down here and get some money. Because racists themselves, like nobody's business. And as long as racists themselves, it's going to get worse. This is a consumer goddamn fucking nation. They're going to consume away. This World War Prime, my name is Black.